Have you ever had a dream so vivid, so real, that when you woke up, you weren't quite sure what was reality anymore? What if those dreams weren't just dreams? What if they were echoes of other lives, other possibilities, bleeding into your own? That's the chilling premise behind a story that's been living in my head. A concept I call the Echo Architect. Today, I want to take you inside this world, to pull back the curtain on the pilot episode of what I hope will become a sprawling, mind-bending series. Our story begins with Alara, a brilliant but troubled neuroscientist. She's haunted by recurring nightmares, fragments of a life that isn't hers. She sees a city she's never visited, feels the warmth of a sun from a sky she's never seen, and grieves for a family she's never known. Most people would dismiss these as just bad dreams, but for Alara, they're data points. She believes these aren't just figments of her imagination, they're echoes from a parallel universe. Seeping into her consciousness, her obsession has cost her everything: her reputation, her career. In her relationships, her colleagues think she's lost her mind, but Alara is driven by a desperate need to understand. She's built a machine in her cluttered, makeshift lab, a device she calls the resonance chamber. It's a dangerous, untested piece of technology designed to amplify these subconscious echoes. To make them clear enough to decipher, her goal is to prove her theory. To show the world that we are not alone in the cosmos, not even in our own existence. The pilot episode opens on a stormy night. Rain lashes against the windows of Alara's lab as she prepares for her most dangerous experiment yet. She's finally ready to activate the resonance chamber with herself as the subject. Her former mentor, Dr. Reese Thorne, pleads with her over a video call, begging her to stop before she does irreparable damage to her own mind. He warns her that some doors are meant to remain closed, but Alara, resolute, ignores his warnings. She believes she's on the brink of the greatest discovery in human history. As she powers up the machine, the lab hums with a terrifying energy. Lights flicker. Equipment sparks in a low. Resonant frequency fills the air. Alara straps herself into the chamber, her heart pounding. The world around her begins to dissolve, replaced by a swirling vortex of images and sounds that echoes. She sees glimpses of that other world, clearer than ever before. A futuristic city with sleek, organic architecture, a peaceful society living in harmony with nature. But then, the vision shifts. A shadow falls over this utopia, a silent, creeping dread. Suddenly, a new echo breaks through, violent and terrifying. It's not the peaceful world she's been seeing. This is something else entirely. A war-torn landscape, skies choked with smoke, and the chilling image of a man with cold, calculating eyes. He seems to be looking right at her through the veil of dimensions. This is our antagonist, a figure we'll come to know as the Silencer. He's not just from another reality. He's an architect of them, a being who can not only perceive parallel worlds but manipulate and even erase them. He sees Alara's intrusion as a threat, a loose thread in the fabric of space-time that must be snipped. The connection is severed abruptly. Alara is thrown back into her own reality, gasping for air, the terrifying images seared into her mind. The experiment was a success, but it came at a price. She didn't just observe the echoes, she announced her presence to something within them. The Silencer now knows she exists. The hunt has begun. From this point, the series would split into two parallel narratives. We follow Alara as she becomes a fugitive in her own world. The Silencer begins to exert his influence across dimensions, subtly altering her reality to isolate and corner her. A phonograph on her desk might change. A trusted friend's memory might be altered, turning them against her. She can't trust her own senses, her own memories. Is the world changing, or is she just losing her mind? This creates a constant state of paranoia and suspense. Alara must use her scientific genius not just to understand the echoes, but to survive them, learning the rules of this terrifying new game. Simultaneously, we would explore the world of the Silencer. We'd learn his motivations. He sees himself not as a villain, but as a preserver of order. He believes that the infinite branching of realities, the echoes, is a form of cosmic chaos. A disease that must be cured. His methods are brutal. He collapses timelines. erasing entire universes he deems unstable or redundant. His world is a sterile, monolithic reality, the sole survivor of his cosmic pruning. He's a terrifyingly rational antagonist, an architect of silence in a multiverse of noise. The central conflict of the series becomes a cat-and-mouse game across spacetime, Alara. The Echo Architect learns to navigate and perhaps even influence the Echoes, using them as pathways and weapons. The Silencer, in turn, hunts her through these pathways, collapsing realities behind him, shrinking her options until there is nowhere left to run. Alara would eventually find allies other sensitives like her, people who have been touched by the Echoes and dismissed as delusional. A grizzled historian who sees echoes of past events that never happened. A young artist who paints landscapes of worlds she's never visited. This small, fractured group becomes humanity as unlikely first line of defense in a war they don't even know is being fought. The pilot would end with a chilling cliffhanger. Alara, on the run, looks at a reflection of herself in a shop window. For a split second, her reflection isn't her own. It's her doppelganger from the peaceful, utopian reality she first saw. The reflection smiles, a sad, knowing smile, and mouths a single word, run. Alara is not just seeing echoes anymore. The walls between worlds are breaking down, and she's at the center of the storm. And that's the core of the Echo Architect. It's a story about the nature of reality, identity, and the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond our perception. It is a high-concept sci-fi thriller wrapped in a very human story of one woman's fight for her sanity and the survival of everything she knows. It explores questions like, what makes you you? If your memories can be changed, are you still the same person? And if you had the power to erase your mistakes by erasing the reality they occurred in, would you? I am so passionate about this idea, and I truly believe it has the potential to be a gripping, thought-provoking series. This is just the beginning, a single pilot episode in a much larger saga. What do you think? Would you watch The Echo Architect? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read all of them, and I'd love to hear your take on this universe. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you in the next one. The city is a symphony of chaos, sirens wail, car alarms blare, and a collective human cry echoes between the skyscrapers. Alara, now draped in the impossible yellow raincoat, stumbles through a grimy alley. The fabric is heavy, soaked with a rain that isn't just water, but sorrow. She presses her hands against her temples, her own resurfaced memories of the car crash. Her sister's face are now mixed with the raw, unfiltered trauma of a million strangers. A stockbroker's secret guilt, a chef's burning regret. A teacher's lost hope. It's deafening. Get out of my head. She collapses against a brick wall, sliding down next to overflowing dumpsters. She is no longer just a ghost in the machine. She is the machine, and every ghost is screaming inside her. Alara finds a semblance of shelter in the hollow shell of a forgotten subway station. The air is thick with the smell of decay and damp earth. She tries to pull the raincoat off. It won't budge. The fabric seems fused to her skin. Its bright yellow color a sickening contrast to the gloom. She looks into a large puddle of stagnant water on the platform. Her reflection stares back, but it's unstable. For a second, she sees the face of the faceless, hollow man. Then, a frightened teenage girl. Then, an old man weeping. Her own face is just one in a flickering. Horrifying deck of cards. A figure emerges from the shadows at the far end of the platform. Kai-20s, a street artist with paint-stained fingers and watchful eyes. He isn't afraid. He's drawn to her. I knew I'd find you. I've been painting you for years. The ghost in the rain. He holds up his phone. It displays dozens of images, graffiti art on brick walls, digital sketches. All of them feature a solitary figure in a yellow raincoat, standing at the edge of crowds. Always watching. Who are you? One of the ones who never forgot. Not really. The dreams were too loud when the lights flickered. Tonight, I knew you'd finally woken up. Kai's Loft is a chaotic sanctuary of art and salvaged tech. Canvases depicting otherworldly landscapes lean against walls covered in complex diagrams of intersecting timelines. Alara is shivering. Wrapped in a coarse blanket over the still-present raincoat, you didn't just open a door. Alara, you tore the whole wall down. He knows where we are now, the Hollow Man. He's gone, he. Dissolved. No, you set his prey free, Now the hunter is coming. The painting shows a single, terrifying figure, a man in a sharp, sterile suit with eyes that are cold, calculating voids. He stands in a world of perfect, silent, gray geometry, the silencer. Suddenly, the lights in the loft buzz and flicker violently. The tea in Ilara's mug ripples, not from her shaking, but from a low, resonant hum that seems to vibrate from the very air. On a nearby television screen, the static coalesces. A news report shows a team of corporate soldiers in tactical gear, led by a woman with a cold, familiar face Ilara's old boss from the archive. They are standing outside the sealed entrance to the now-dead archive, the Chiron Reed's Sidian. Crisis, rogue archivist Ilara sought for active data terrorism. They're hunting me. They're the least of our problems. The camera zooms in on the painting. For a split second, the figure of the silencer seems to turn its head, its void-like eyes looking directly out of the canvas. Directly at Ilara.